Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Gymkhana Josh, and welcome to Beyond the Apex, where we talk about motorcycle everything and then some. Tonight, we have an awesome guest, another YouTube personality, a blogger, a vlogger, a survivor, a lady rider, and we'll get to that in a minute. Before we get to her, if you look over to my left, over on your right hand side, you'll see my co-host Butter. Butter, what's up with you, man? How you been?
What's
Cheers.
going on, family? What's going on, everybody? Same old, same old. Quiet weekend. Got to ride a little bit. It's been a while since I rode, but I got to ride a little bit.
It's cold up
How's
here.
it?
It's cold. I don't care what you're
Oh,
riding.
he's such a sissy. I swear to God.
You know,
Such a
the
sissy.
only cold weather gear that I have is the heated vest. And so I wear the heated vest under my leather, but like my hands are numb, my knees are numb, my feet are numb. I can't do it.
Obviously, somebody's been in New York that long and has not bought any freeze out. So
Ah,
yeah, freeze
ah,
out's the way to go, my friend. Yeah, it works.
man.
It
I'm
works.
slacking. I'm
Oh,
slacking.
shout out to all the sponsors: Mike's Pro Lid, Certified E-Draggers, Prospect Power Sports, Fit to Box Boxing. They actually, I know everybody knows about Biker Brawl. So they are sponsoring by giving us all the gym time for free.
Oh,
Joshua's been training. Yeah, Joshua's been training one of my members for the boxing event on February 28th. So if you're in the New York City area and want some personal boxing or you want to be in a gym that's really cool, it's in an amazing area. It's in Industry City. Let me know, hit me up, or you can hit up Fit to Boxing and let them know Hustle King sent you. There's a special rate for all Hustle King friends and family.
nice. Actually, give a little bit more. Do you have any more information about the biker brawl in February? Do you know any more details? Where, when?
Yeah, so we're gonna be flying into Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of Mike's Pro Lids. So we'll be fighting in Oklahoma under the Tulsa Boxing Athletic Commission.
Hmm.
So far, everything's a go considering COVID. Uh, there's several fights. We got of course, obviously, it's Hustle Kings versus Mobbing
Hmm.
Kings. We know we got Everlast from Thug Riders Boxing to be determined. It's supposed to be a friendly one percenter fight, which is good. And we got Carson Jones fighting Zab Judah's brother Daniel Judah, who also was a professional boxer. And we have Cartel Baggers fighting against. Uh, I gotta remember
For the people
the
at
list.
home that haven't seen us talk about it before, the biker brawl is literally what you think it is. It is literally a bunch of bikers from all over the country convening at a boxing ring, an arena in Oklahoma to duke it out for clout, for that's for charity actually, right?
It's actually for charity. Yeah, Mike is all the funds are going to St. Jude's charity. Mike has a close relationship with them, and so do I. Um, it's kind of fun. It's people that respect each other in the bike game, the
Mm.
culture. We're all friends in some sort of way, or we're all connected to Mike's Pro Lid in some sort of way as friends. And like I never met Mobbing Kings, but Kung and I have communicated, via social media, and I follow his page. He's a bike builder. And he's pretty cool. If you ever watch his page, it's like such amazing bikes that he puts together, and he just friends a lot of work. And so I felt that it would be a good idea that we get to know each other, which is great because we share stories, we talk to each other, and then when Mike brought the idea up, he's like, "Would you willing to fight Mobbing Kings?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" So two of Mike's closest people are going to be fighting against each other, and it's cool because it's king versus king.
Mm.
Wouldn't have it any other way, right?
Right. And actually, you mentioned something too, not specific to motorcycles, but it's kind of funny is that the brawl, the fight, the man on man, uh, like duel, it kind of creates a tighter bond between people. You get to know somebody, you get to know what they're made of, you get to know what they're about when you get to that point. So it's actually really cool on a deeper level than just slugging it out and hitting people. It's pretty cool. I like it.
I mean, at my age, back in the day, we would duke it out. If you would shake hands and
Right,
have an idea.
right.
This day and age, you don't see that. So everybody's
Nah,
busy. pulling out guns and stuff like that. So
So I
it
got
is
my
what it
like
is.
Rey Mysterio mask in a bag over here, so like I can just like throw it on like mid match and just jump in off the ropes at some point.
Some Rey Mysterio shit.
But do a backflip off the top ropes and enter. You have a new challenger.
I got some bike news. So former wrestler, WWE wrestler, Macho Man Randy Savage. He's passed away, and my boy Sosta Ghost was talking about it. So they stole his bike. He had a custom built bike, says Macho Man Randy Savage on it. It was stolen over the weekend. So there's a former manager of Macho Man had a few collectible bikes from different people, and his garage was broken into. So there's like $1,000 reward. Anybody know the whereabouts of Macho Man Randy Savage's motorcycle?
I feel like it's like an easy bike to spot.
Yeah, it does say Macho Man on it. So
All right. So let's continue with the show. So as I said in the beginning, well, I didn't say in the beginning, but episode 30, Beyond the Apex, we have a very special guest. This is actually somebody that's been referred to us through Shannon. You might know her as Throttle Gypsy. She was on our Ladies Night episode almost a year ago, Butter. Almost a year ago.
yeah,
And she said, look up this girl. She's awesome. She's a rider. She has a lot to talk about. And sure enough, she was correct. I'm not let down, and none of you at home will be either. As you see now in the bottom of your screen, you'll see BrittBraap. She's an Instagram personality, a YouTube content provider. She does like gear reviews, she does stories, she does moto vlogs and blogs, and pretty much everything under the sun, to be honest. So Britt, thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. How are you doing tonight?
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Butter. It's so hard not to call you Butters from South Park. I'm not gonna lie. Um, excuse me if I slip up tonight. Hey guys, I am Brittany, also known as BrittBraap. I am on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and I hate Twitter, so I'm not on Twitter.
Preach, me too.
What to say on Twitter anyway. Anyway,
it's the same thing.
And I just never got. So excuse me, this is actually the first time I've ever gone live ever. So if I fuck something up, I'm sorry.
But not the last, because she has another live experience tomorrow. She told me like we must have got in like right at the right time, because she's going live tomorrow too.
Yes. Thankfully that one's gonna be clear.
Yeah.
So you kind of took my live virginity. That sounds really bad. I should have thought about that first. Anyway, sorry, babe. He's watching downstairs. Anyway, I don't really know what else to say besides hi.
Hey. So what we're talking about tonight is getting back in the saddle, and you might not know exactly what I'm referring to when I say that, but there's an old saying, and I hate this saying, that it's not if you go down, it's when you go down on a motorcycle. I hate that saying, because for the longest time, for many years, knock on wood, I never had an issue. I finally went down. I've only gone down once at a track, actually, but I've never done it on the street, just like doing something stupid, because I've done some stupid things too. But Britt has the most anxiety driving, just terrible story to tell about going down on public roads. And let's talk about it. Not like we said before the show, not to dwell too much on that particular situation, but give the people at home a little bit of like what happened to you, and what you're starting with as far as that.
All right, so I'm gonna start out by saying that I had been riding for 2.5 years, I believe, before this happened.
What were you riding?
2019 XSR 900.
Okay.
But it's not because of the bike. so many people assume that's because I'm on the big bike. That's why it happened. No, shit just happens.
Right.
So, and she's still my princess. She's downstairs. Her name is Athena. I love her.
That's not
She's
it, right? I'll sit behind you, right?
oh
That's
yeah, I forgot about that.
had,
Yeah, she's
my
right
buddy, my
That's
buddy,
movie magic, actually.
one of my friends has the same bike.
Oh, dude, she's such a bad bitch. But so I preface my story with saying that I was the most safe rider that I could ever hope to be. I was in the parking lot for thousands of hours. I spent just practicing in the parking lot because none of this stuff comes natural to me. Riding is just so foreign to me because I can barely ride a bicycle, let alone a motorcycle. And I'm going to talk about this in a future video, but I legitimately hated motorcyclists before I started riding. I was the cager who would be in the road and do anything in her power to not let the motorcyclist pass. Like, I was that person. The person, the cager you guys hate, that was me, 100%. A lot of people think that's funny that I even, admit that, but I see it from both sides. So anyway, I thought that I had mitigated the risks as much. I thought I had mitigated risks because of how much parking lot practice and how much textbook studying I had done for motorcycling, and then that none of that worked. So up until that point, I had thought, which I still kind of believe it, that 99.9% of motorcycle accidents can be avoided by the rider. Whether it's being more attentive.
I believe that too.
So whether it's being more attentive to your surroundings, whether it's just knowing how to swerve correctly to get away from an object in the road, and whether it's paying attention to who's coming up behind you at a stop sign or at a stoplight.
I'd say on top of that too, a lot of stuff with a lot of accidents is people don't recognize not for your situation specifically, but they don't recognize their own skill level. They think that the bike is just going to take them to the next level. Not true, folks at home.
Absolutely. It's better to upgrade the software and not the hardware.
Yeah.
I had to think my way through that.
You got it.
So, anyway, so my accident, the first motorcycle accident, besides just tipping it over in the parking lot, was on June 20th of 2020. It's over 7 months ago. And I was up in Blood Mountain in Blairsville, Georgia. So are you guys familiar with Blood Mountain? Have you heard of it?
I've heard a lot about it, actually. My boy Brian is down there, actually. He rides Blood Mountain quite a bit. So I've heard about it a lot.
Okay. So for those of us who don't know Blood Mountain, it's a very, very curvy road. And a lot of people go up and down it as many times as they can, as fast as they can. It's kind of like it's Mexico and Georgia. That's what a lot of people call it, because they do a lot of filming, but you always say that you're in Mexico because of all the stupid shit you do.
Minus the tequila.
No tequila tasting up there. But so I was up there with a group of girlfriends, and I just wanted to practice going back and forth because there's about a 3-mile stretch of roadway that is Blood Mountain. And long story short, the full story is on my YouTube page, which is actually my first ever upload on YouTube, so it's easy to find. I broke my back on Blood Mountain. That was my first ever accident. My first ever bone break was my front wheel hit oil in the road. I wasn't going above my skill level. In fact, I was only going about 50% of my skill level. I was maybe going 35 to 40 miles an hour around that turn. And I ended up going down the mountain and had to crawl up with a broken back. And
like I said, watching the video, when Shannon first hit me up and referred you to us, I watched your YouTube video and I saw you sit there and talk about the story in great detail, and it just gave me goosebumps thinking about all these different scenarios of like, you know, you weren't even visible from the road, right? You were off the road, down a
I could
ravine.
hear cars, I could hear motorcycles,
Yo,
but no one
that
could
is
see me, and my bike wasn't even visible.
that is a paranoia, like anxiety inducing situation that like, oh shit, I'm gonna die right here because I can't do anything. Nobody sees me, nobody knows I'm gone. But please, I'm sorry, continue.
So, um, yeah, I broke my spine. I had 5 fractures on my actual vertebrae, and the vertebrae are, I didn't know this before this happened.
Science moment.
The vertebrae
Science moment.
are the thing are the things like this, and then the processes are these thingies, the pointy thingies. So anyway, I had about 5 fractures on my processes, or sorry, on my vertebrae. I still have a few of them, but they're mostly healed from the MRI results from a few weeks ago. And then I had about 4 to 5 fractures of the processes, which are the pokey things. And
the scientific term, pokey things.
Yeah. One of my vertebrae was a burst fracture, which means my spinal cord was exposed. So at any point of this, I could have been paralyzed, which is the most just terrifying thing I could even think about.
Could you even feel like your legs, like your bottom half? You could feel it?
Yes. So
okay. I thought you were paralyzed when you wrecked.
The first thing I remember after I woke up, because I blacked out for a little bit, I woke up in that ditch on the side of the mountain, and then all I knew was to make sure I could feel my fingers and feel my toes, and then I went into making sure I can move my legs and move my arms, and then I was like, okay, I can't see anyone. I either die down here or I'm going to go get help. Right. So I climbed up the mountain, and I waved down help, and the person who found me turns out to be one of my best friends today.
Wow.
Which I didn't know him at the time. So
wow. That's nuts.
Yeah. So
butter.
So my question to you is, how does everybody recovers different mentally? Mm-hmm. How do you recover mentally from the whole experience, let alone to get back on a bike?
So, everyone said, as I was laying down, everyone said, like, you're going to get back on the bike. So I waited 45 minutes to an ambulance. And then the ambulance ride to the hospital was about an hour. So everyone was just asking, well, they weren't asking me if I'm going to get back on the bike, but it was like, yeah, it's going to be over before you know it. It's going to, you'll get back out here.
There wasn't that one dude that was like, dust it off. Just get up.
All jokes aside, dude, everyone at that mountain, everyone on 2 wheels, there was at least 30 people around me at one point. It's crazy how family focused that area is, and those riders really are. If you go down, someone's going to find you and stop and ask if you're okay. So I know you're making a joke, but like the people up at Blood Mountain,
a joke,
Blood
but
Mountain
not
Riders
really a
group are incredible. Like they restored my faith in humanity 100%. Because I don't have much to begin with.
Preach.
So, so yeah, as soon as I went to the hospital in the emergency room, the admitting doctor told me that I'm never going to ride my motorcycle again. And that made me hyperventilate. That made me like, I don't know, dude. It was fucking bad. Yeah. And in addition to this, I didn't have any visitors because of COVID. I was spent the first night and the first day in the hospital alone because of COVID.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that was. If anything keeps you away from the hospitals, it's because you don't want to be alone in there.
I had a heart attack on Mother's Day, so I know the feeling.
Oh my God.
Well, I know that was creepy. I was like, I should have just stood home and at least died around my family.
Yeah. I don't want you to die, but anyway, so
I'm happy he's still around too.
As far as having the motivation to get back on the bike, it's just the bike being on two wheels is the only time that everything kind of disappears. And the only thing that matters is what is going on at that specific moment while you're on two wheels. And I, for a little while there, I did consider not getting on, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But in the back of my mind, I always, I never gave up the need or the want to get back on. It was always a subconscious decision that I was making. It was like, okay, what do I need to do to get back on? My first post-op appointment, the first question I asked my neurosurgeon was, because I have hardware, I have aftermarket
You're like
parts.
Bionic Woman over here.
Looks pretty dang cool. You can actually, like, if you run your hands over my back, you can feel the screws.
Oh shit!
It's really cool. Which is why I move around sometimes. But the first question I had asked my neurosurgeon when I went back to my first post-op appointment was when can I get back on a bike? And he said, wait 90 days, and God willing, 91 days after my surgery, I was in a parking lot, nervous as fuck, but I was on.
You made a video about that too, actually, right?
I did.
I saw that.
I have a question, Brittany. So for the people that are listening, like you said, you were going low speeds. I had a brother who had a crash similar to yours. He was not going fast. He was actually in a public road on the left lane, and somebody made a left turn from the right lane. And he's paralyzed from the waist down. How much gear did you have on? Unfortunately, my brother didn't have any gear on, and he's paralyzed from the waist down. So I would like for the viewers to watch. I know you had gear on, so explain what you had on so people can understand the severity of having this stuff on. Because I remember going down with no gear, and I left half my skin on the BQE.
Yep. I would rather sweat than bleed all day. So
absolutely.
I was wearing a full race leather suit. That one day is the one day I decided to go without a back protector. But I will say, because of how I landed, even the neurosurgeon said that most likely it wouldn't have helped because my back, I did a front flip and I landed on my shoulders. Back protector. And I remember it happening, dude. Like, I remember feeling the snap. But
Yo, but just this week, actually, maybe a couple of days ago, Butter, on a common Facebook group that we're both a part of, there was somebody that posted up like it was something along the lines of, I hate you guys that, or not I hate you, but like, I don't want to listen to you guys that wear full gear. I would rather scrape myself off the sidewalk over being as scared as you. And there was a whole...
And that's obviously never happened before.
Right. Yeah, because he still posted
I look at it like this. When someone is like against wearing the gear or wanting to look cool, or that shit is overrated, I'm gonna say three things, and you know what? I'll call this person out any time of the week. Want to go up against me? You can pick the bike for me to ride on. I'll smoke you. I will smoke you. I'm gonna tell you. I felt
like posting that.
When I have gear on, I'm not worried about how fast I'm going. I'm not worried about anything. I believe that the gear is gonna save me because I've been down at 130 miles an hour with full gear and literally just walked away. Like literally walked away. So in that aspect, if you don't ride that fast, you're not gonna have the fear of not having the gear. Yeah. Like you probably don't, homeboy, whoever you are out there in Stupidville, you probably don't know what it is to do $175. So, and if you do, let's do it. Hey, listen, I'm calling you out. Come see me on my Instagram.
I'm gonna link it to the show.
You want to do it. Yeah, wherever you want to see it. You want to do it on the track. You want to do it on the street. You pick the road. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Let's do it. I will have a full suit on.
285 Atlanta. Be there.
Jeez.
I'm down. I'm down. You know what I mean? And listen, you ain't scaring me. I got family in Atlanta, so it give me a reason to go down there and ride and hang out. Call out my buddy Ben Z. Ben Z's in Georgia, so he's in Buford. So we'll give us a reason to go visit Ben. Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you right now, I've been down at 30 miles an hour like you have. And I know what it is to have missing skin from my wrist to the back of my shoulder and on the side of my legs, where it burned so much. I had to literally lay on a hospital floor where it was cold just to keep my skin from feeling like it was frying.
Mm.
Now, on top of that, not only does it have that effect at the moment, I have a long term effect where I can't take sun because my skin starts to bubble. My skin is very sensitive. So
He's
any
sensitive.
bozo that listen, don't get me wrong. I'll go out once to the blue moon in a t-shirt if I'm running a local errand, and even then I'm like, you're stupid for not wearing any gear. But I anybody who says that riding with gear is bad is definitely drank a lot of lead in the water.
I know he
And
tried to backtrack his message after
yeah,
enough people
no
posted.
backtracking.
Hey, let's take a moment actually
But
real quick for in the chat. Shout out to Kristen Dindal, Whitmeza, Bill's B and N.
What's here?
Yeah, from the bike.
actually, there's a lot of girls watching the show
Yeah.
tonight, Brittany, and a lot of them are
I can't see
inspired by your
anything.
stories. Yeah, if you hit your phone and you get on the YouTube, you can actually see it. Just mute it so you don't get feedback from the show. so,
By the way,
so
anybody
yeah,
that's
Stephanie.
watching, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. Your name will pop up. There'll be a little graphic on the screen. It's kind of cool and pretty. Subscribe,
Yeah.
please.
So Stephanie was saying how miraculous your story is. She's glad you're okay. Monica, she's from Jersey. She also said the same thing. A lot of girls. We have Crystal from the Black City family. She's in on the show. She's a huge advocate for female writers. You got to check out her story. Anybody? I hope if she's still listening. Kristen, can you send me
Oh,
your
Britt's in there
Instagram?
now.
She's
It's
really
over now.
yeah. No, but got a Crystal got a great story on how she started riding. She makes this little vlog, little video she posted. It was really cool. So I advise anybody, especially females, like if you're interested in riding, definitely check out Brittany. Check
Oh,
out Crystal. She has like the really cutest video. It's about her experience on learning how to ride. She has like the coolest Swarovski crystal helmet. I think it's really cool.
Yo, so we kind of touched on it earlier. Butter kind of like leaded into it, but we might not have touched it exactly. I'm curious though, like for you, Britt, what was like the most powerful thing? Like, what was the biggest thing for you to um, like get back on it? Was it just sheer willpower, or I don't want to steal the spotlight. What was it for you that really got you back on a bike? I know you wanted to initially, but there was some pushback from.
there's a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, uh, my therapist really helped me, and I didn't. I've had a therapist before. I've been through depression and anxiety. Like I'm medicated now for that still. I mean, it's something that I've always struggled with, but I didn't really realize that I needed therapy until. Do you guys watch MotoGP?
Off and on.
Absolutely,
Oh, you should, dude. Okay, dudes. Um,
I
He
do.
does.
there was a MotoGP race in August, I believe, and there was an accident on the track, and Valentino Rossi and
It was like four riders. I remember. Yeah,
it
I
went
saw it.
right. We went
I
six
was
and
on the
like
track.
oh my god, the motorcycle went inches from Rossi's head,
Literally,
and Maverick
was
Vinales as well.
decapitated. Yeah,
Um, and I saw that crash. I was fine for the crash, but it wasn't until I saw the rider get put on a stretcher and then get put on the ambulance. I shut my eyes and laid back, which is probably the worst thing I could have done, and I felt like I was on the stretcher again.
Mm.
And I bawled. And it was just like it was happening all over again. I felt pain. I would just
Vinales,
it was
they say. Vinales.
it was crazy. So at that point, that's when I realized that I really need to talk to someone
Mm.
because my husband, God bless him, he was trying to help, but he didn't know what to do. And he was trying to calm me down, ask me what was wrong. I had to turn off the race. We ended up finishing it a few days later. I just realized that I needed help. And that was after, you know, there's sometimes where I would have gone to bed and I could hear myself breathing like I did when it happened. I would walk downstairs and the stairs would kind of elongate like it does in the movies. So that had happened, but I didn't really think twice about it. I saw the crash and I was like, you know, I don't want this to happen every time I watch MotoGP or every time I see an ambulance on the TV.
Yeah.
So that's when I looked into specifically PTSD therapy because I knew exactly what I was experiencing, but I didn't know what kind of therapy was offered. So I found my therapist, and she actually did something called EMDR therapy, and this is a very very stupid terms, but basically she took the memory out of the fear part of my brain and put it in the memory part of my brain. So I no longer associate that event from a fear perspective. That happened.
Right.
So I was cured. I don't like to say that word because I'm still working, you know, on the anxiety and the fear.
It's a progression.
But it took about 4 weeks of therapy for me to get past that. And then she helped me in other areas of my life. But opening it up, opening up to people through YouTube has actually opened up a lot of doors for me and helped a lot of other people, I've realized, because a lot of people don't like to talk about therapy and they don't like to talk about their struggles. But when you go through something as traumatic as this experience, everyone goes through this shit. It's just no one likes to talk about it. And I've had guys talk to me before, you know, and they come up to me and they ask me, just friends, but these are men that I would have never thought would struggle with PTSD, riding anxiety or fear, but they do 100%. And they're like, yeah, I just don't like to talk about it because I'm not manly. Like it's not a manly thing to do, to be afraid.
That's a sad thing. And actually, for the people at home too, PTSD, I mean, when you break it down and when you look at the, you know, the clinical diagnosis of PTSD, it doesn't necessarily have to be something as traumatic as breaking your back even.
It doesn't.
It could be something on a lesser scale. You should go talk to somebody. If you're having any sort of issue, if you're having recurring nightmares, if you're having recurring thoughts, if you're having anxiety, if you're having any of these sort of feelings, you should talk to somebody and kind of find out, do you have an issue that you need to get out there? Maybe it's something you just have to talk about. Maybe it's something you have to get medicated for. But PTSD is really serious.
I give you a personal experience as well. I didn't ride. About 8 years ago, I had a little bit of a stop from riding. I took a little break after my brother became paralyzed. Everybody was freaking out, like, oh, you should get off the bike. So me trying to appease everybody, I didn't ride for about 3 or 4 years, and I didn't get to see my kid for about 7 to 8 years after that. And I went through a really bad depression, like really, really bad. And I didn't even want to get on a bike. Like I had bought a bike, I was on a bike, and I would get really depressed and I wouldn't even want to ride because I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the willpower to just want to get on the bike. And I started seeing a life coach. And her name is Regina Stafford. Her and her husband, Tommy Stafford, they've helped me a lot mentally, where now the only problem I have is what day am I going to ride? Where am I going to ride? What road do I want to ride? What time do I get up
That's
and want
good
to ride?
stuff.
So it kind of worked. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, I went through a really bad phase where, you know, I my own personal family issues turned me into like not wanting to do anything. And, you know, riding for me is as therapeutic as going to come. There's no greater feeling than like, there's days when I'm like, I don't feel like going to work today because I want to ride my bike. Hey,
Absolutely.
ain't coming in. I don't feel good, you know. But I personally, um, I, I think the most important thing for me, because even after my accident, I have a fear, and this I'm pretty sure most people who watch the show know. I have a fear riding in the five boroughs. I won't go a certain speed. I'm like an
Hashtag
old
no
lady.
five boroughs.
Uh,
Hashtag.
yeah, Hashtag no five boroughs. I mean, it's suicide city here in New York City. So if you try to ride it in the five boroughs, it's you definitely feel like you're in a war zone. So for me, the way around that, so I don't have to ride in areas. I live close to the bridge, so I cross the bridge and I'm up like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I hit these highways, and I tell you, I can ride for 2, 3 hours, and I can count how many cars on one hand, two hands that I see because there's barely no cars on the road at the time I go out. So I've done that. I found the time that
Mm.
works for me, that it will keep away my anxiety. Like, all right, there's not too many cars because I see a lot of cars, and I'm like, all right, let me just get off the exit and grab something to eat because it's not going to be
Yes,
fun.
yes, I've done that so many times.
Especially when you play at this. Yeah, especially when you play at the speeds that I play, you want to be somewhere where you know it's like, all right, I don't want to like see a
It's
thousand
not
cars
worth
in the
it.
road.
It's not worth
So
it.
time is important, and for those people who have that anxiety, like myself, like I hate to see a lot of cars on the road. I get pissed off, and I just get off the highway. Works for you. Ride in an area that it's safe, or that there's not a lot of cars on the road at that time. You peak out and use 100% of your skill level. I know you say skill level, but we learn every day. I've been riding close to 30 years, and every day I'm learning something new, learning how to handle a bike or certain things. They make these bikes more newer, more advanced. So um, there's a lot to learn with these newer bikes as they come along. But everybody struggles with something, and I think this is a promo for all motorcycles. Buy a motorcycle, man. That should get rid of a lot of depression. I
It
tell
does.
you,
It definitely does. I
I
do
got
want to
everybody.
say one thing though. With that, uh, I love people who say that writing is therapy. There does come a certain, this is serious, Brittany, sorry, there does come a certain time where know everything, so it's okay to get help if writing
Mm,
doesn't
Oh,
cure
mm.
what it's going to cure. So the reason why I say that, and not anything about butters, I called you that,
Oh
but
God,
I have had
I
people
like to ride
tell me,
motorcycles.
have had people confide in me saying, hey, I really have some help, but when I go riding, it goes away. But as soon as I put the bike up, it's back, you
Mm.
know, back there. So,
So you're saying it
but
doesn't solve anything? It just
exactly,
postpones
it
it?
kinda.
Yeah.
So, and I completely get that because it does the same for me. Um, but it's okay to get therapy. That's the only thing. It's just, it doesn't make you any less of a motorcycle rider to go and get help if you think that you could benefit from it, because I really do think everyone could. But
Well, no,
anyway,
no BS.
sorry.
Any. Well, I'm not gonna just be like a walking advertisement for therapy, but I'll say honestly, when you have an issue, when you're only the one person involved in this issue, if you talk it out, a lot of times somebody with an some sort of a background to give you pointers or lead you in the right direction, you can figure out your own problems yourself. You might need just like
Oh yeah,
a little direction. It helps. It
absolutely.
helps. It's not that you're weak or whatever. that that shit helps. It helps. It's good stuff. So man, woman, alien, child, elderly, it doesn't matter. If you talk out your problems and have somebody that can bounce ideas back to you, it helps. Just do it. And back to what we were just talking about, falling off a bike and having a bad experience like Brit has, you might need to just talk about it. So just go talk about it. Just do it. Just make it happen. And wear some god darn gear. Wear some gear. she was wearing gear. And,
you
and
know,
so
I tell a lot of females that I know that ride, they're not aware of a lot of the female stuff that's out there. I know Stella Alpine Star has a line called
yeah,
Stella
yeah,
for
yeah.
females. It's pretty geared, to the female figure.
That's what I
Most
wear.
of the European, but
I've
there's stuff out there.
I've been told though on numerous occasions that the Stella line, that's for like a very specific female. That's not for,
That's what
that's
I
not
said,
for
a
the
European
everyday
type
female.
female.
That's That's
Well,
not
I
for the
mean, I don't
Brooklyn
have a big
female.
chest, so there you go. If I had big tits, I probably wouldn't fit into it. But
You know.
I'm sorry. Fortunately, my husband's a butt.
So, does he ride? Does your husband ride?
Yes, we both started riding at the same time actually, and he got me into it.
You know, I believe, I was married for some time, and I think the greatest feeling was able to ride with your spouse. I found it very fun. I found it very therapeutic. I also found it like and anybody who's in a relationship, when you ride with your significant other and you watch, especially like for me who taught her how to ride, and you watch her apply that that technique, and you watch them lean and come off the bike, and wow, that shit, it keeps the fire going. It actually
Dude,
kind of keeps the fire going.
I have never seen my husband as proud of me as he was when I got my intermediate bump with Sport Bike Track Time on the track. And it's crazy to see how
I
proud he
mean,
was of me.
I encourage any guy, any woman, like as a couple. I mean, this is for me. It worked. Like I found it to be so sexy. Like I would come home and be like, "Let me tear the leathers off your ass, girl. We going." You know what I mean? Like it'd be sexy. Like I think it's cool.
Yeah, you're
I
giving
think it's
everybody
very
at
couple
home
therapy.
just a mental image of just.
Cut it out, Josh. Josh, get your mind. See what happens.
I don't
Jesus
want to see
Christ.
you with your
What
leathers
a
off.
co-host.
God damn.
I don't know about you, but I got swamp ass under my legs. You don't want to go to that shit.
Okay, we're good.
Y'all done fucked it all up,
The
man.
gloves
We're
are
trying
off.
to get people to ride
Yeah,
together.
the gloves are off. All right.
Hey, for future reference, I'm gonna have a swamp ass hacks video in a few months.
Oh shit.
Because I got a lot of them.
Quick plug.
So,
By the way, if
there's
anybody
another
wants
bike in
a
the garage.
custom leather suit, holler at me because I have a connection right now to get some custom suits that I can design myself. Whatever ideas you have, holler at your boy. I can make it happen.
Okay, so I guess another Hustle King suit is in the mix.
Yeah, do it.
I see there's a bike in the background. The other bike, I guess that's your husband's bike.
Yes, I love that bike just as much as he does though. Kawasaki
He's
Ninja
got some
636.
brains. He's got some brains. He rides a Cowie. Good.
Yes.
We're anti-Suzuki here.
Oh, well, I had a Suzuki SV650 for my second bike. My first bike was Yamaha R3. The 650, I mean, it was a good bike, but my heart's with Yamaha.
No, they like a lot of dudes that I know ride track. They like that bike. A lot of people.
It's a great track bike, but I had too much invested in it, and it wasn't worth as much as I owed. I traded it in, and I'm in love with Athena now. So.
Athena. Wow.
So now that I see you on the XSR. Have you seen the Kawasaki version to that? The 800, the W800.
Yep, I have.
No,
I just don't like the look of that.
W800.
No, I haven't.
No, they have a W. Check out the W800. It's a really cool bike, very vintage looking. I mean, the 900 is not a big bike. I know you said earlier, oh, it's a big bike. It's a very small compared to what we're riding, but it's something about that bike it's really cool. I have a friend who has one, and it's like a perfect fit for him. It rides nice. I've test rode the bike a few times. It's got a comfortable ass fucking seat. That big ass seat is like really, really comfortable. But it handles really great. But Kawasaki also made one called the W800, which is kind of like similar to that. It's a really cool bike. You might want to take a picture, take a look at it. It's a really cool bike.
Okay, I'll do that later. Cool.
So, and your husband has been riding the same amount of time you've been riding?
Yes.
Okay.
But
and now you said so you've gone to track. So give the female riders that listening out there some of your track experience and promote the track, get them on the track with us.
All right. So I had been riding for a year before I got to the track, and I thought I was a bad bitch before I went to the track. And then I realized how much I didn't fucking know. My first track day was ladies' first track day at Sport Bike Track Time with Sport Bike Track Time at Little Talladega Grand Prix. It's Little Tally in East Aboga, Alabama. Sport Bike Track Time North has a ladies' day as well. I believe it's in September, but you're gonna have to look at their. And then there's another ladies' event with Ruts to Race Lines, and that's in North Carolina, I believe. And I really wanted to go that one, but that just logistically couldn't happen this year. But those ladies' days are the perfect.
Wait, did you know about that because I told you, or because you looked it up?
No, because no,
Oh,
Hanan, which is a friend of
oh,
mine,
okay, okay,
she
okay,
invited me to that one because
okay,
last year she went to both of them in the same
okay.
weekend. It's crazy.
We got an
But
affiliation with Rest of the
anyway,
Race Lines.
so aw, thanks, babe, for subscribing to Josh. Sorry.
Yeah. By the way,
That's
while
my
she said
husband.
it, Rowdy to Wheels, thank you so much for subscribing. We appreciate it. For sure.
Okay. So anyway, those ladies events are the perfect first track day experience because you've got a lot of one-on-one coaching that you're doing with other women, and that's where I actually met one of my good friends, Jessica Martin. She's with Hot Mess Racing. Um, she was also up in the mountain with me. I was riding with her the weekend that I wrecked, but yeah, I realized how much I didn't know. But the special thing about those Ladies' Day events is that there's no egos on the track. You don't have to worry about being intimidated by guys that think they're hot shit and trying to pass you mid corner because they see your ponytail off the back of your helmet. Which unfortunately there are guys out there like that. But there's no intimidation factor, and everyone there, and at least a novice, you're all at the same playing field. Everyone understands each other. When you're working with other ladies, we've all been there before, and we all understand the nervousness you get when you first start, track riding. When you're around all these other women who are into the same sport, it's also enlightening because we are unicorns. And there's not many of us. So don't laugh at that.
You have like rainbows.
Magical,
you have rainbows shooting out of your assholes or whatever.
Well, I do shit rainbows.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, that's cool.
It smells like roses.
So subscribe to our channel because there's rainbows shooting out of her asshole. It's pretty cool.
So anyway, it's just to see that many women doing the same thing you do is just awesome. So on the track, if you enjoy riding the street and you enjoy just it being you and your motorcycle helmet on the pavement, think of that and times 100, and that's what the track is like. I mean, it's just incredible to be riding at a location where you don't have to worry about anything else. Your mirrors are taped up, so you don't have to worry about people behind you. You shouldn't look behind you, and all you have to worry about is what you're working on right then and there. And it's just
we talked about road.
It's just
road,
incredible.
Though. There are other things to worry about.
Well, I'm sorry, you're a shitty rider.
Oh, damn. All right, I'm done.
All of them.
I'm kidding, dude. Okay.
I'm lost.
So, but yeah, so it's just I encourage literally everyone that I ever talk to ride the track if they haven't already. There's a girl that my husband, she's one of my husband's employees, and she's going with me or planning to go with me to Ladies' Day in May as her first track day because I shared my experience like that. And I also have a trailer that I'm going to make her put her motorcycle in. I'm just going to kidnap her for the weekend. But
that's it.
It's just the most awesome experience you'll ever have on two wheels is on a track.
So you want to hear something funny, Brittany? My track idol is a 16-year-old female.
What's her name?
Her name is Elisa Gordon. She rides with us at New York Safety. She was 13 years old when I first went on the track. And, we talk about this ego stuff. I'm riding my 600 GX6R, 25 years in, I'm going in. Yeah, fuck that, I'm riding. And this little 13-year-old girl blows right past me on
Yep.
a Ninja 300, like if I was still had the kickstand down. And as she passed me, I said to myself, was that a girl that just, I was like, so when she blew by me, I was like, no, she didn't. And I was sitting there and I'm on my bike and I'm like, wow, this kid really amazed me. And I get off the bike and I'm like walking through the track and I'm like, I need to find who this girl is. She's never going to pass me like that ever again. And I see this little 4'11", 13-year-old princess. She's sitting in her beautiful outlaw fucking trailer with 4 bikes in it.
Yes, the most
one Aprilla, one
RV
Husky,
ever.
and yeah, beautiful. And she's like, hey, I was watching you out there. You're all right there. You just got to do this and that. And I'm like, I've been riding longer than you've been alive. Well, how dare you? And I'm sitting there with my face between my legs, like, what the hell? Like, is this really that serious up here? And one of my buddies comes over. He's like, oh, you met Elisa, right? I'm like, did I meet Elisa? She just blew past me like if I was standing still. Yeah, she's been coming up here since she was like 9 years old. Wow. So, ever since then, like, I've always like, wow. And then now, we interviewed her not so long ago. She's a great kid. I love
I'm
her.
gonna have to see that.
It was almost a year ago,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna tag you on her Instagram.
Please
Her
do.
dad is a really amazing guy. His name is Bruce. They're like track junkies. They're there like every weekend. Like when they come up, he has like his own. Yeah, he's got like his own parking spot at the track, dead center. Like when they come off their trailer, it's like a welcome committee. She's a really amazing kid. She's actually getting into CCS this year. She's really
awesome.
that good. Yeah, she's really that good.
Yeah, I've got friends who race CCS.
Yeah, if you ever come up north, New York Safety Track is probably one of the best tracks you'll ride. It's a very technical, a lot of elevation changes. There's a lot of great organizations up there, certified e-draggers.
Shout out to Carlos.
Fast Life. It's really cool. Yes. But yeah, definitely. I mean, we have to come south, and you got to come north. So we definitely got to make that happen for sure.
Britt, what's up with the YouTube channel? What are you doing with YouTube and Instagram? What are you doing with your social media?
All right, so Instagram's always been moto focused. That's just my favorite platform, period. Besides TikTok, dude, like there's some cool shit on TikTok.
Okay.
I hated it until I tried it out, and then I'm like, well, I'm into like, I don't know, art and shit. I like to draw, so I actually don't watch a lot of moto content myself, which is kind of funny. But anyway, so Instagram's Instagram. I'm trying to build my community within YouTube and Instagram, but Instagram's just my chance to really just connect with everyone. And I follow a lot of other moto vloggers on IG, and a big community. YouTube specifically, I started my YouTube channel to try to reach out to other people who have been in accidents before, to share my experiences, because I have a lot of, not a lot, I have a few videos on there that I actually almost, I cried a little bit, and like on film. And I was just so vulnerable, but I knew I had to be vulnerable to really reach people and to make a big impact. Real stuff. And with YouTube, it started out by just trying to share my experience and to let people who are going through that know that, hey, I'm not alone, and I can get back on a bike if I really want to. And there's hope for me to, get back to what I love doing. But the longer I'm doing YouTube, the more I'm realizing how big of a, I hate the word influence, how big of a reach with my content. So,
for sure.
I'm just really wanting to provide a good, kind of
service,
offer service and mentorship to other riders. Just, sharing what I'm going through, because the recovery process isn't over, and it's not going to be over for quite some time. My first track day in 2021 is in March, followed by another track weekend. So I'm going to die literally right after the other.
No, she's not going to die. Don't tune in for that. She's not going to die.
Okay. Sorry. Might be. But my back is.
You're the
But
bionic woman. You're gonna last longer than we will.
yeah, at least my aftermarket parts will.
Yeah.
I actually could get those taken out in a few years.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I could. I don't really want to
Yeah,
because
don't
it
do
makes
it.
me special.
Yeah, you're robotic
But
now. You're like the Terminator.
well, that on the back of my new tracksuit, I have a spine, and it actually shows my. I'm a graphic designer, so I designed my suit, and um, I drew a spine, and then I actually fused the three vertebrae
That's
together, and I
cool.
put screws in
That's
there.
cool.
So yeah, it I can't wait for it to come in. But yeah, I just want to share my experiences with everyone through my YouTube channel. Encourage everyone to wear gear if they do choose to. And share. One of my favorite videos I've done so far is me explaining how I'm not sorry I was in a motorcycle accident. Like I'm happy I was in a motorcycle accident because it's opened up a lot of opportunity for me to reach other, and it's kind of made me embrace who I really am and made me open up to adventures that I would have never thought of doing in a million years because I was too afraid to do it. So my whole perspective and my whole outlook on this YouTube thing, on this, life is fuck it.
That's a good point.
Don't let fear control you.
But you're doing something good with it too.
Fear...
You're not really just saying fuck it. You're just like,
oh no.
You're saying fuck it for you, but you're making it better for everybody else.
Oh, thank you.
You are really. You have to see that.
But yeah, so I do still have anxiety on the street. I don't think that's ever gonna completely go away.
Don't ever ride New York ever.
I hate fucking Atlanta, dude. Like I don't know if I could do New York.
At least any major city you don't want to ride in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was gonna go somewhere with that, but Josh interrupted me, so I forgot.
That's what I do. So,
dude, I'm sorry. I'm just busting your balls all night. My bad.
It's okay. I'm used to that too. I can take it. So
I'm asking a question, Brittany. Hold on. Are you ever gonna ride a street bike, or what do you ride at the track? Because I know you don't ride the XSR.
I do ride the XSR.
Oh, get out of here! I wouldn't
pass you on that.
Probably.
That's the only one I would. From a start, I've got the 636. We've tested it, but from like he hit above like my I don't have my ECU flash, so my bike tops out at 136. Don't ask me how I know that. But Joey's doesn't top out at 136. But at 136, sixth gear, I'm at 5,000 RPM. So she's got a lot more to give.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, so I only ride on street right now. But I will never ride on street like I did before. So like going back on the street, like my first couple of times I caught myself looking at oil spots in the road and fixating on those oil spots because, I hit oil.
Interesting.
So I had to get over that. I still, every once in a while, myself doing that. I'm still a little bit, overly cautious on the road, but I did get my Alpine Stars Tech Air 5 vest. Shameless plug. I have a review coming out tomorrow.
No shame.
It's a comprehensive review. Because I've been wearing it for 3 months, and my husband actually sells it at his work, so he has that perspective. But
who is to test it for the review?
I hope I never have to test it. But if I do have to test it, it's got my back.
No pun intended.
So after I got that, it alleviated a lot of anxiety for me because I did know that, after if I did have an accident with that on, it's less of a chance my back would break. So I no longer have to worry about my C7 through T7 through T9 is fused. So that's my thoracic spine, and I don't have range of motion twisting as I used to. Will never have that same range of motion I used to. But so it impacts me like at a stoplight. I have to look behind me. I have to turn my entire body to look behind me, that kind of thing. So I have to kind of work around that. I've learned how to, but it's not worrying about the fusion breaking. It's above and below the fusion, because the fusion is so solid with the aftermarket parts that it's not going anywhere, period. So anyway, it's yeah, getting that airbag vest was really a game changer for me personally. And that just adds to the safety of my gear, which Butters, that's you. I'm always going to call you that. That's your soapbox there. I just can't express how much better wearing gear and wearing the proper gear makes me feel. And I'm going to be wearing that Tech Air vest on the track too. Absolutely.
There's a couple of I know Alpine Star makes the inside airbag inside the suit.
Yes, that's
whatever.
what I've got.
And then and there's some people that rather not have it on there. There's also the external vest. I know Greg at New York Safety Track actually promotes it. He tells you if you buy one of the air vests, he gives you a free track day.
Nice.
Not sure if he's doing that for 2021, but it's kind of cool. Like if you don't want to have it in your suit and it's a little uncomfortable. I'm a big guy, so anything that goes extra in the suit is not really meant for me. So I would probably wear the external one, but then I don't want to wear the external one because all the money I spent to design my suit, you can't see it. I got this big bozo yellow thing on it. But I encourage it.
Absolutely. So you have to have an airbag compatible vest. Oh, I'm sorry, an airbag compatible suit to wear this vest inside your suit, but it's a standalone version. So you can wear it underneath a jacket too. And that's why I bought it. It's only $700. One that goes inside the suit zips into the suit, which is $1,100. So anyway, make sure you check out the video because I explain why it's better than the other ones.
Right.
Anyway, okay. Hashtag A-Star is sponsoring me. But, oh my God, Stephanie, you're so sweet.
Around this time, it's like 9:03. I think we should start winding down right about now.
Okay, no
Wait,
problem.
what were you about to say?
What
were you about to say?
Like 30 minutes ago. I don't know.
All right.
I saw Stephanie's comment, so.
Stephanie Garcia.
Oh, she's an average watcher. Shout outs to my man Bill's BNN Network. If you're into like looking at biker news, this is the channel to go to. He promotes like different bikes and he puts out accidents and deaths on motorcycles. So
that's awesome. He's
constantly like keeping the world. He actually just purchased. Shout outs to Bill. He just purchased the new MV Augusta Brutal 1000. He had a Brutal 800, and now he's purchased the 1000. Amazing. He has some great video footage on it. A lot of detail. The bike has a lot. I mean, you can see why this thing is worth a lot of money. And he just dropped it off at a competitor's powder coating. I'm not going to mention that name because then I'll be messing up my personal powder coater, Easy Powder Coating. But it's okay. It's okay, Bills. I still love you. It's okay, my friend. He's loyal to his person. He's been with that guy for so many years, and he's actually a great guy. So I'm really not hating on him, but I can't plug him in because I got my own powder coater.
So yo, Britt, let's start winding down right now. But before we go out of here, take a chance take a moment and just like shout out your people, talk to the people at home, say hi to the people in the chat, and let's get ready to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to bed. I was supposed to be in bed 30 minutes ago. Cause I'm an old fart. I'm really not though. I'm just an old soul. So, guys, thank you so much for having me today. I really, really appreciate it.
No, we love you.
Just having the chance to share my story and share the importance of gear, importance of, I still believe in practicing like I used to do. But accidents aren't as openly discussed as I think they should be. true risk that we all take, and some of us just don't really. I love that. That's fuck, dude. Um, I'm sorry, babe, if you're still watching. So, accidents aren't nearly discussed as much as they should be, and we all take a risk, and just do whatever you can do to mitigate that risk is what's most important when you're out on the street. Track, fucking send it.
Right.
So, I really want to shout out to my crew. We're kind of like a not really team. Anyway, my favorite peeps are Giuseppe, Jessica, and AJ. Jessica's with Hot Mess Racing. Nicole's also a part of that. Hopefully, I hope to race with them one day. Shameless plug, Jessica. Just saying. Yeah. And AJ has become one of my best friends here. So has Giuseppe. Giuseppe's the one who found me on the side of the road. I did not know him at all before that. So
is that the bald guy that's holding you in the pictures that I seen?
Gosh, no, that's God. Tony? I always forget what his name is. Anyway, he's so cool.
I've seen him.
I was kind of hitting on him too while I was on the ground. And my husband does know about that. But oh, dude, a lot of people aren't gonna like this, but as they asked me what year it was, and I was like, Trump 2020, and everyone was like, nope. Anyway, that's how a lot of people remember.
Oh goddamn! Like 400 people just jumped off the chat.
Right. But yeah, and I was poking fun at everyone because that's how I was keeping myself calm by poking shit at everyone. But I just my people are seriously the best, and it's taken me a really, really long time to find people. I don't know. It's just I've heard it's a woman thing where we just don't make friends very easily, and it's just this experience really opened my eyes to how kind people can be, and how important it is to ask for help when you really do need it. So
are you close to Buford?
I am in Marietta, so I'm on the other side of Atlanta.
An hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We have a buddy that just moved down there. He opened a restaurant, so an avid rider. His name is Ben. So
I'll
tag you on his
Mr.
Instagram.
Zang.
Yeah.
The ramen connoisseur.
Yeah, I'll tag you. If you ever in that area, you can look him up. He has a really cool fusion Japanese restaurant, and he's an avid rider. He just bought a 636, so
awesome.
I'd like to get him in connection with a lot of people out there.
Yeah. He needs to join Blood Mountain Riders Facebook group, because he's like 45 minutes from Blood Mountain.
I remember.
And those are just such.
We're going to go see Benny. We're going to go see Benny. We're going to go see Benny. Benny, you see? I'm coming down with my hat on.
Anyway.
Butter, what you got? What you got for the end of the show? Shout out your peoples. What's going on? Mr. Fu Manchu over here.
Butters.
This is going to be my new... Actually, I'm going to be walking at the track with my whole Asian outfit. This is going to be my new look this year. I'm changing it up. I'll tag you on a picture, Britt. You'll see a picture of me on New Year's Day. New Year's Eve. I had the dope Bruce Lee outfit on. Just a huge shout out to Black City Riders. They're always on the check-in on the show. They do Feed the City. Anybody want to participate? Any biker? You don't even have to be a biker, man. If you just want to go out and help people who are less fortunate than we are, we're lucky to spend money on motorcycle parts. I'm not looking to buy one more bike. I'm looking to buy 2 more bikes this season. You can never have enough bikes, but some people don't have the net. They could barely buy 1 meal. So if you really want to give back to your city, to the community, please check out Black City Riders. They're every weekend meeting the less fortunate. I was reached out by one of their organizers. They want to do a clothing drive. So we definitely got that in the works. I was also reached out by another person who we did a sneaker event last year where we collected like 200 pairs of sneakers for the less fortunate. So those events are coming up. So just keep on the lookout for that stuff. And riding season is almost here, guys.
Yes.
I mean, it never stops. It never stops for me, but it's the nicer weather is coming, guys.
This is true. for all you people at home that are only capturing this conversation via audio, you are not seeing the ridiculous rice patty hat that Butter has on right now. You're missing out. You need to check this out on YouTube because you can see the ridiculousness right now. But on top of that, yo, Britt, thank you so much. We
Thank you,
really
guys.
appreciate you being here. You have an awesome experience, awesome perspective to give to riders, and hopefully somebody can learn something from it, and we can go from here. Butter, of course, it's always a pleasure with you, my brother. Um, the
Always, my
Chinese
brother.
hat is something new, but something awesome too. So, to recap a little bit, look, folks, if you're at home, if there's something you've gone through, post traumatic stress disorder is very serious. If something has happened to you in your life and it's traumatic and you feel like you need to talk to somebody, just talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Maybe it'll be a counselor, maybe a friend, relative, something like that. Just talk to somebody. It'll help. On top of that, don't get into motorcycle accidents. Don't do dumb shit. Britt, her situation, she didn't do anything specifically stupid to get into a motorcycle accident, but wear some gear. Go to places that you are familiar with if you're going to push yourself to like 80% and above. Don't do dumb stuff to get into accidents. Don't do that. On top of that, she shits rainbows. Britt shits rainbows.
Fuck yeah, I
She
do.
said it. So check out her page if you want to see her shit rainbows. I'll post a link in the description below. It's super awesome. I've never seen a rainbow come out of a booty like that. It's great.
I'm gonna Photoshop that.
But on top of that, that's all I really have to say. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. Come back every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Beyond the Apex, me, Butter, all of our guests talk about motorcycle everything and then some. There's some new stuff coming, by the way. But come back. Check us out. Just listen to us while you wash your dishes or cook dinner or whatever you do. I appreciate it. And as I always say, leave this world better than you found it. Peace.